Are we good to go?
Absolutely.
We're live? All right, cool. Hi, everybody. My name is KylieKyubi, or just Kylie. This is Crash Twinsanity 100%. And if you would like a perfect snapshot of what kind of game this is, just look where Crash is standing. He is standing very high in the sky on nothing, as all great bandicoots do. So, yeah, this is that kind of game. It's very, very broken, and 100% is extremely entertaining, extremely difficult. So, I have a very high estimate, and there's a chance that we will be 10 minutes over it. There's a chance we'll be like 2 minutes behind it. We'll just see what happens. And then if my commentators wanted to introduce themselves as well.
Here, I'll go ahead. Hi, I'm Fumoffu. And just a sake of transparency, Kylie here asked me not to watch the run beforehand, so I have no idea what's about to happen. I'm sure I'm here to babble about it.
It is definitely a run that I think is very fun to watch blind. So, but yeah, and then Echo, if you wanted to introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Echo. I am a machine, and I have also not seen the run. I've played a little bit of the game to get myself a little familiar with what we're not going to be seeing. But
all right, and with that, so I'm going to make a save file because I have 3 backup saves, and I'm going to have an autosave running the whole time alongside that. So timing is going to start not here, but there's like a cutscene that I'm going to skip, and then there'll just be like an autosave is prepared screen. Once I click A on that, it will be, time will start. So this is the screen I'm talking about. Once I click continue, that'll be start time. So I will count down from 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so right off the bat, so the requirements for 100% are collect all 96 gems and beat the final boss, and there are no other requirements, and we are going to very much take advantage of that. So here's the first gem. I'm going to grab that, I'm going to jump really high, and then I'm just going to death abuse. This game has an auto kill function where if you fall for long enough, the game just kills you automatically, so that's what I did there. This is another gem. You're supposed to do a puzzle where you guide some chickens into nitros to drop down the arrow crate. We did not do that. We just used scenery that you're not supposed to land on to just grab the gem. We're going to do that a lot. We're going to skip a lot of puzzles like this one. So you're supposed to fire cannons here. We're not going to do that. We're going to do that once. We're going to land on this tongue. We're going to body slam. We're going to body slam again because I messed that up. And that is 3 gems, and I bypassed 2 of the puzzles you're supposed to do already. That is basically what 100% in this game is like. We're just going to be doing a lot of glitches, a lot of skips, and a lot of out of bounds. And something else of note with, unlike all the older Crash games, there are crates in this game, but they are not needed for 100%. So we will be skipping a lot of those. And right here is an out of bounds. This skips 2 cutscenes. This is like the tutorial level Jungle Bungle. Any non-FMV cutscene in this game is not skippable, so we just do anything we can to bypass their triggers. And I'm going to try and skip one here. Nah, I was too far back. So yeah, no, I can't skip this cutscene, so I have to watch it. It's only like 8 seconds long, so it's not that bad.
Easy.
Yeah, so in this tutorial level, Coco, that was definitely Coco, Crash's sister, she is teaching us how to do stuff in the game with, run, jump, spin. The main movement we're going to be seeing in the game is this slide jump. It's very different from slide jumps in Crash 2 or 3. It's more akin to the long jump in Super Mario 64, a game that I'm not sure anybody in chat has heard of. So yeah, this is the main movement tech. You just slide and then do a slide jump. It is a fairly decent commitment, so a lot of the movement will just be me slowing down if I can't really fit in a slide jump. All right, so there's another cutscene skip here. All right, I got this one. This is actually a very recent development for that skip. We used to like land on a ledge on the wall to the left there, and it was very terrible, and you'd either get it first try or 25th try. But that setup of the skip is so much better. So we have already skipped like 5 different gem puzzles. There was also a bunch in the middle of the level that I just glossed over because I was talking about other stuff. And that's just how this run is going to be. And then here I'm just landing on a ledge that's not supposed to be a thing. There's a lot at the very beginning of the game that I have to explain. Even including coming up is the first really major skip in the run. Like this has all been little stuff. So coming up here is a trick called hover skip. If done correctly, it skips the first boss fight entirely. If done incorrectly, it soft locks the game. So I'm going to hit a safety save right before it. So I'm gonna drop down here. Let's get that life to be safe. All right, so I like to think I'm pretty consistent at this trick, but it is a very finicky one, so this might take a few tries. I have to get back out of bounds here. All right. And I will explain this one after it happens, because it's going to be very funny to watch. All right. And I didn't hit the trigger. Okay, we'll try that again. The positioning was good, I just didn't hit the thing underneath the level that I was trying to hit, so we will do that again.
It looked very fun.
Yeah, this is a trick that walls a lot of people when they're first learning the game, because it's one of those tricks that if you don't know how to do it, it's borderline impossible. And even when you do know how to do it, it's just so precise that you're just inevitably gonna mess it up sometimes. All right, so we're gonna try that again. I don't even know what happened there. I've never seen the camera not follow me.
While we're getting set back up for that skip again, do you mind getting a little bit of love from the community?
Oh, yeah, sure. Go for it.
Absolutely. Rex Drinks Red Bull donates $5 to Malala Fund and says, "Hey, Kylie, I found you through your video about the history of Twinsanity speedrunning, so I figured I'd donate during your run." And the :3 smiley face after that, which I'm not sure how to verbally pronounce, but thank you for that, Rex Drinks Red Bull. And you're getting a lot of love in from your community.
Thank you. The camera in this game doesn't like to cooperate sometimes, especially when you are doing stuff you're not supposed to do. So that was what happened there. All right. Surely the third time this will work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they say three times a charm, so.
There we go. That one should work. Actually, no, I think I was too far left. All right, so we almost got it.
He seems upset.
Yeah. So now we're getting the general idea of what's supposed to happen. I guess while I'm setting up, I'll explain what I'm actually doing. So this game is very unfinished, if that wasn't blatantly obvious. And in this, what's supposed to be this boss fight is you fight Cortex, who it turns out that wasn't Coco, that was Cortex, which surprised me. It was a very convincing disguise. But he fights us on his hoverboard that he uses in like Crash 1 and Crash 3. The hoverboard is a controllable object because it was supposed to be used later in the game. So you can land on it and it's invisible and out of bounds, and then you guide it into the cutscene below the level, which skips the boss fight. There we go. And I do not usually have this much problems with this skip, so hopefully we get this soon. So one of the downsides of Xbox is that you can only have the 3 autosaves. If I had messed it up this much on PS2, I would have just loaded a backup save that I have at the start of the level. But I was also fairly confident that this wouldn't take 10 tries. So,
that's okay. It's just more fatales, more options for people to donate towards that glitch incentive.
Yep. All right, come on. Work with me, Crash. Yeah, so
You've
the
gotta
idea
donate.
is that you need to hit the cutscene trigger, but you have to hit it from a specific point. You have to hit it in a way where Crash ends up in bounds. So let me try it again. All right, that one worked. But the game could also still crash. But that one should work. All right, cool, we got it. It only took 6 tries. Yeah, so Crash has to be in bounds when I hit the cutscene trigger, and you saw that where Crash was kind of just flying around in the background while Cortex was having his tantrum. The reason for that is that the game just programs you to land wherever Crash is when the cutscene ends, because Cortex runs towards him. So if Crash is out of bounds, he just ends up sitting on top of that hole like you saw in the previous attempt, and then that also soft locks. So yeah, but there I was inbound, so we just ended up in the level, and now we are in Cavern Catastrophe. The way I like to describe this level, I personally believe for as difficult as this game is, most of the tricks in it are very consistent, and you can build up, like, just being very consistent at the game in general. Cavern is not one of those levels. Cavern is a very terrible level where everything goes wrong all the time. Including here where I tried to go over that fence to get a cycle skip, and I did not go over the fence, so we'll see if I get the backup here. If I don't, then we're just going to be waiting for 10 seconds. But yeah, we're not going to get it. If you have played The Wrath of Cortex, this looks a lot like the ball levels in those games. It is a lot worse because you're not actually shaped like a ball in terms of hitboxes. You are just shaped like Crash and Cortex, and that is not good for physics.
Physics, but I don't know. I find it hilarious that they actually took the time to model the hitboxes accordingly.
Speaking of things that are hilarious, I would love to hear more about this glitch exhibition that we're hoping to unlock. Can you maybe tease it a little bit for chat? Because we are 75% of the way there, but we just need a little bit more of a push. So tell chat more about that glitch exhibition if you can.
I will do that right after this part, which can be a little tricky, so... All right. Okay, thankfully, I didn't get a thing there where it would just not let me get into that cog. If that happened, I would miss this gem, and there's no way to die, so I would have to reload the level. If that happened, I would have just... Actually, I'm going to get a safety check one here. If I had missed that gem, I would have just kept going, because it's not worth going back to it just for the gem. It wouldn't actually be 100%, but the rest of the run would be the same. Anyway, yeah, so the glitch exhibition. So the donation earlier from Rex mentioned a Twinsanity speedrun history video that I've made on my YouTube. The any % run for this game is extremely broken. The current world record, which was set a few weeks ago by G-Pro, is less than 10 minutes long. And there's a lot of glitches in the any % run, or at least there's like a handful that let you skip to the end of the game really quickly. I'm going to show some of them. I'm not fully confident that I can show all of them. So I'm just going to show a couple of them that I think get the basic idea of how you can skip a few things. And then there's also just a couple of other silly things in the game that aren't useful in a speedrun, but are just really funny to see happen that I just wanted to show off. Yes. So if you want to see just some of the real absurd things in this game, the glitch exhibition is definitely something you want to donate to. All right, so we just finished a mob fight with enemies that are called the Ants. They're the main enemy in this game. And now we are controlling Crash and Cortex for the first time. The entire gimmick of this game is that Crash and Cortex are teaming up to take down a common foe. Cortex is really slow when you have him with you, so we're going to spend most of the time just throwing him and just running without him and waiting for him to teleport back to us. Something I just did there, and I did it a little bit in Jungle Bungle also, but didn't really talk about it, is a trick called the long jump. So if you do a slide jump in this game and your next jump is at a ledge, then that jump carries the momentum of a slide jump. So you just go really far and it lets you make jumps over gaps that you're not supposed to be able to do. That's how I got that blue gem. You're supposed to throw Cortex across to the other side of the gap. He opens up a bridge for you, and then you pick up Cortex again and you throw him at the gem. That's really slow, so we just long jump to grab the gem, and then we death abuse to have Cortex spawn back at us.
Sounds like the name of the game is moving around, having to use Cortex as much as possible.
Having to use them as little as possible, but yeah. Yeah, so this is this section. Sometimes you just fall through the platforms here and die. It actually, this run was at SGDQ. It was run by Joester98, who's the current, he's like current top 3 in this game and former record holder for Hundo. He just like walked here and fell through the floor, and the way he explained it was the trick he did to make that happen was he walked normally. And that is how that happens. Sometimes you just walk normally.
What a normal game.
Yep. So I threw Cortex there at the same time that the cutscene happened, so I gained control there, and that just saves a few seconds. And then I'm going to long jump here to dodge these Nitro puzzles. Nitros and TNTs in this game auto-kill Crash, so even though I have a mask, I can't just damage these through them. They did that to make sure you couldn't cheese through stuff like that. And... Alright, so that was Cavern Catastrophe. We have a couple more gems we're going to get. This is going to look like it's normal. This is not normal. This is not how you get this gem. The gem hitboxes are just very big. And then again, this is not how you're supposed to hit that detonator, but you can just land on the tree and do that. All right, so we're coming up to the 3rd level, which is Totem Hokum, and this has probably my favorite trick in the entire run. This, if done correctly, will make both Totem Hokum and the level after it significantly easier. However, if I mess it up, I will either soft lock or crash the game. So this is where 2 of my 3 backup saves are located. So I'm gonna hit that safety save, and I'm going to actually disable autosave, because if I hit one of the autosave spots coming up later and then die, the save file gets corrupted. So I just do not want to deal with that. So I'm gonna jump around a cutscene trigger here. This is supposed to be an auto-scroller section where Cortex is getting chased by bees, and you have to protect him as he runs through various dangerous hazards. As you can see, we're not doing that at all. We're just leaving Cortex behind, and then we're just running through this auto-scroller like it's a normal level. I'm going to grab this life to be safe. I
don't know what it was about you just yeeting Cortex face first into a pile of nitro boxes that tickled my funny bone.
It's so funny. When you throw Cortex, he's invulnerable, but if he warps back to you and lands in nitros, he dies. And then the game forces a respawn, and it doesn't take a life from you, but it does count as a kill. All right, so we're gonna get, we were gonna get that gem, but I missed it, so we're just gonna get the gem normally. And then the way I'm moving is specifically dodging a bunch of cutscene triggers that would reactivate the auto-scroller. All right, so coming up here, we're coming up to the end of the auto-scroller. We're gonna hit this checkpoint, and then we're gonna death abuse. It was very important, actually, that I grabbed and threw Cortex the way I did, because now the game thinks I have him. So when I die, it respawns me with him. So I threw him into the cutscene, and I died at the same time. So now the game thinks I'm dead, but I still have full control. This is the zombie glitch. So now I cannot die to normal hazards. I can only die to triggering that auto kill that you all saw at the beginning of the game when I got the clear gem. And if coming up here in this stealth section, if any of the tribesmen in the watchtower see me, that can also kill me. So I have to be very careful here.
Does that mean you'd like a little luck from the community?
Yeah, go for it.
$25 donation in from 8129. Thank you, 80. You're amazing. We got a donation in that says, "Hi, Kylie. Good luck. Very happy to see Twinsanity and Fatals. Maybe next event we'll see Crash Bandicoot 1. Anyway, here is $25 for that glitch exhibition." Thank you so much for that donation. Ad, you're amazing. And yeah, absolutely. Let's hit that glitch exhibition. Gang, we are so close to hitting that. We're just over $700 remaining on that. So that's not that much. And this run is not that long. So I believe in your ability. Get those donations in gdq.gg/donate. Put them towards that glitch exhibition incentive, because we want to see more glitchy goodness from Crash.
So the skip I just did there skips a cutscene that plays at the start of entering the village. It only saves like 12 seconds and is really hard to do. So a lot of people just don't even go for it. I'm really glad I got it there like first or second try, because it is a very rough one to get down quickly. But yeah, as you can see, the zombie glitch is just letting me go through all of this water and not have to worry about any hazards. The reason it's a very big problem, though, is because I cannot die. If I fall into a pit, it won't kill me. It will just leave me at the bottom. I'm taking this a bit slow because my bearings were a little off. And then the other thing is the way I triggered zombie is putting the save state in a very dangerous situation. So like I said, when I grabbed the Cortex at the beginning, it attached him to me as far as the game is concerned. So if I die and respawn, the game will think I am Crash attached to Cortex, and it will try to respawn me with Cortex. But if Cortex is not programmed to exist in the level or in the checkpoint where I respawn, the game can't load him, so the game crashes. So that's why I have to be very careful about dying here. And that's why I have the 2 backup saves in case something bad happens. I'm trying to... Alright, so... Alright, so what I just did there, that skips the second boss fight. That's supposed to be a fight with the Totem God. And we just walked right past him. And then zombie also protects you from nitros, so that's why I've just been able to run through those with no problem. And that was Hub 1. And we are now going right into Hub 2, which is Iceberg Lab. Alright, so here again, we're going to be using zombie for a little bit. So there's 2 ways to get out of zombie. You can either trigger the auto kill, because any death will respawn you without zombie. So you can either do that, or you can pick up a mask. The reason picking up a mask works is because the state of death in this game is -1 masks. So that's what the game thinks I have right now is -1 masks. So if I pick up a mask, it puts me to 0 masks, which in the game's coding is alive. So that is how we'll be getting out of zombie, but that's still not for a little bit. Again, I have to be very careful to not die here because that will trigger a game crash if it happens. So I'm being very, very particular with how I'm picking up these gems.
I really love the look of walking through the fully opaque water while you're in zombie mode.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, zombie is such a cool trick, and we actually will be seeing it again in the run. It is used twice. There's a faster route for 100% that we call the early Hub 3 route, which, as it sounds, you go to Hub 3 early. That route saves a lot of time because you carry zombie through more of Hub 2 when you go back to it. It's a very cool route, but it is also a very, very difficult and terrifying route because you basically cannot make a big mistake at any point or the run is dead, and that's why I'm not doing it. It's just not marathon safe in the slightest. This game is already barely marathon safe. Any other of the alternate routes that are faster are just not realistically safe to do in a marathon. All right, so I'm going to get this gem here. It is over a mask, so I just picked up that mask. I am now no longer in zombie. However, I still cannot die. In the sense that I am physically able to die. It would just be bad if I did, because the game will still crash if it happens, because the game still thinks I have Cortex attached. So I have to get to a checkpoint that is programmed to allow you to have Cortex with you, which is a bit later in the level.
So I'm noticing these large machines have some interesting collision, allowing you to jump up very quickly.
Yeah. We skipped a lot of the platforming in that level just by abusing the collision that the platforms have. You're supposed to like wrap around it a good several times, and then we just skipped most of it. And then we're going out of bounds here to dodge one of the funniest cutscenes in the game, unfortunately. If anybody hasn't played this game and you're worried, like if you want to play it but you're worried that the speedrun's going to spoil you, it will not. So, yeah, my friend and roommate who I saw in the chat earlier, Violin, he said that like the first time he saw Zombie, he was like, "What is happening?" And I was surprised he'd never seen it before because I'd run the game for several years at that point. And he said, "Oh, I never watch you run this because I want to play the game casually." And I just told him, you watching me run this is not going to spoil the game casually for you. Right, these two bats are the final bastion of killing the run. Thankfully, they did not kill us, so we hit that checkpoint. We now are allowed to die. Everything is fine in the world again.
Now that we're allowed to die, I'd love to give you a little bit of love coming in from people who did not know about some of the fun glitches in this game. Can I do that?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, Jamie the Bnui. That's how it's spelled. It's Bnui. Bnui, I believe is how you would pronounce that.
Jamie is a very good friend of mine. So.
Jamie donates $50 and says, "Wow, I didn't know you could skip the Tikimon boss fight."
Of course you didn't, Jamie.
Not watching the game so that it's not spoiled for you, of course. We also got a $10 donation in from I Love Glitches who says, let's break some games. And I do want to give a quick update. We are under $700 remaining for that glitch exhibition, just $680 to go. And if I'm doing my math right, if we do that, we will also hit 91K for Malala Fund raised so far this event. So chat, get those donations in and put them towards that glitch exhibition, get us to 91K and get us closer to that 100K Hades 2 bonus run.
This bat is being a jerk.
It's really good.
I'm supposed to be able to. I'm supposed to.
Here.
Yeah. So. All right, I'm gonna try this a few more times, and if it doesn't work, I'm just gonna go around. But ideally, you're supposed to be able to use the iframes to ride the bat up to the. There we go. That's what it was supposed to look like.
All right, very nice.
See now I'm embarrassed because I've been trying to tell Joester for the past like 3 years that trick is really easy and he should learn it, and now it took me like 10 tries to do. All right, so that was another boss skip we just did. There have been 3 boss fights in this game and I haven't fought any of them. So yeah, we just dragged Cortex through the ice wall there, and that skipped the boss fight with Uka Uka. We have to get out of the arena now though, so we're gonna long jump around here. So this N had to stop moving in a very specific place. We're going to land on it. We're going to set up another long jump. We're going to walk to as far to the... Well, I did it wrong. We're going to walk to as far to the edge as we can. And then we're going to long jump. And that skips the Uka Uka boss fight.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, let's go. That's wild.
All right, so coming up next is a trick called Ride and Slide. This is probably the single most difficult skip in the run in terms of execution. And it is somewhat punishing to mess up. Fortunately, the last backup save that I have prepared is for right after this. So if for whatever reason I'm just messing this up a lot here, I'll just load that. But that backup save is just to prevent a crash that can happen if something goes wrong here. So Cortex was very nice there and let us jump off his head. You're not supposed to be able to jump off of Cortex, but if you like run off of him and jump like right as you're falling off of him, I don't know why it's not letting me get up here. If you do that, then you can jump for like a very short, brief moment. All right, so this edge of the mountain is very, very thin. So I have to be very careful here. And then the jump here. All right. For anybody who watched the SGDQ run of this category, that jump messed Joe up several times, and I can't even fault him for it. It's actually a very difficult jump. All right, so right here, we're gonna. Okay, I actually have to load the backup save. There's a very weird quirk with specifically the Xbox version of the game where if you carry Cortex into this cutscene and then reach the end of the level that we're about to do, the game just like always crashes. It doesn't happen on PS2. It only happens on Xbox. So that's why I have that safety save prepared. The other thing is this is either a downside or an upside. Now we have to watch this cutscene.
While we've got a cutscene, do you mind if I cut in with a donation?
Yeah, go for it.
I got a $25 donation in from Anonymous that says, every day during Frame Fatale's charities, I donate my lunch budget and bring a packed lunch for those days. I love seeing number go up. Here's to the amazing runners, volunteers, and community, and let's get to $100,000. Absolutely. Anonymous, thank you so much. That's a great idea. Donating your lunch budget, donating your coffee budget, all of it is super helpful, and all of it goes towards Malala Fund and their super important work. And we are inching ever closer to that $100,000 milestone that we're hoping to hit by the end of the night. And we are only $620 away from that glitch exhibition for Crash Twinsanity.
All right, so If I had done that last part of the ride and slide correctly, I would have skipped that cutscene. But that cutscene is also one of the best ones in the game, so it's fine. So this is Slip Slide Ice Capades. This is a level where you are snowboarding, but Crash did not have a snowboard, so he did the logical thing and is using Cortex. This is a fairly straightforward level. The one thing of note is that some of the gems in this level are very annoying. There are two where if you miss them, you cannot go back for them because they're right before a checkpoint with no hits to fall in between them. One of them is very easy, so hopefully I will not miss it. One of them, the other one can be tricky. And again, much like the purple one in Cavern Catastrophe, if I miss it, I'm just going to keep going. It's not worth reloading the save file for.
It really was an era of gaming where everything needed a snowboarding level.
I disabled autosave there because I realized I started the backup save and I don't want to lose this backup save by autosaving over it. So I will resave when we reach the end of the level just to have the autosave back on.
While we're surfing along, this game has been amazingly broken. I would love to see that glitch exhibition met. And as I mentioned a little bit ago, we're only $620 away from getting that met. So get your donations in, ! Donate in the chat to find out how to do that.
I didn't realize it was that close. All right, so the next gem coming up right after this cutscene is one of the ones that's unskippable, so I'm going to focus on it. Or I cannot miss it, unmissable. Wow, I missed it. Well, okay. 99% run, let's go.
Yeah, new category.
Yeah. So, funnily enough, there was a marathon run a few years ago that Joester98 was running at, and he also missed that one in like a similar fashion. So, at least it wasn't just me. All right, if I get the yellow one though, then yeah. So this is the other one coming up that cannot be missed. Naturally, we got that one. That's the harder of the two. All right, so this is not part of the glitch exhibition, but I want to try and show it off because there's no way I'll be able to come back to this level. So if we go really slowly on this crate. I got it up. Yep, we picked it up. This is actually Katamari. And then it should just be yeeted out here, just like that. All right, yeah, so if you want to see funny stuff like that, be sure to get the glitch incentive met.
Absolutely. I also heard this is definitely official. If you put in donations to Malala Fund, you can make up for that missed gem. So if folks want to maybe start a $5 gem replacement train, we can get that gem replaced, even though it wasn't technically picked up.
Yeah, and that's in the game's programming for sure. All right, yeah. So here I'm resetting up the autosave. Just because that was the last backup save I had, so would rather not have anything disastrous happen. All right, so coming up is High Seas Hijinks. This is a level that casually is notorious for being very long and only having a save point at the very beginning, which means if you die, you go back to the very beginning of the level. Fortunately, we have, or if you game over, you go back to the beginning of the level. Fortunately, we have 20 lives, so that's not a problem. Hopefully. Surely I will not need all 20 of these lives. Well, 19 now, but...
This in the storytelling industry is what we call foreshadowing. Speaking of foreshadowing, can I give chat a quick update?
Yeah, go for it.
We are now 80% of the way to that glitch exhibition for Crash Twinsanity. Chat, you're doing it, you're schmoving, but we don't have all the time in the world. Remember, this is a fast run. It's a 125 estimate, but I believe you said that there is the possibility due to RNG of coming in 10 minutes under estimate.
After the hover skip, I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay,
but...
well, you know, still.
Yeah.
Still, we don't have a ton of time, so we want to hit that glitch exhibition showcase incentive before the end of the run, so get your donations in now.
Yep, so this room is terrible. This whole puzzle is just very awkward in terms of physics, and it is all for one gem. There's a very fast cycle you can catch here, but it is nearly impossible to get on Xbox Something I haven't really talked about is the differences between Xbox and PS2. Xbox is faster because it loads the game faster, and because there's a lot of dynamic loading, the game we can't realistically time loadlessly. However, in this level in particular, and also in Cavern Catastrophe, on PS2 it loads so slowly that the cycles are actually better. So this is one of the few levels where PS2 actually has an advantage. The only person that I know of who can consistently get the fast cycle in this level is G-Pro, who is the current world record holder. So that is just how difficult it is. Also, this level has a lot of rats, so Ratal's mentioned.
Better be seeing some rats in chat.
Speaking of cursed memes, do we have time for a donation?
Yeah, go for it.
$10 came in from Moist Eggs, who says, final donation of the week for me. It's been such an awesome week, and it was a blast volunteering as well. If my username caused you any amount of mental anguish, you should donate $5 so we can get that glitch exhibition. Moist Eggs. Moist Eggs, thank you so much for your generous donation and for putting it towards that glitch exhibition incentive. If you feel some kind of way after hearing the phrase Moist Eggs, donate $5 now to Malala Fund and put it towards that glitch incentive.
Yeah, hurt.
Thank you for that. So this is the fourth boss fight. I mean, the first boss fight, Engine. It's the first one we're seeing. This fight is extremely boring. So if you can fit in any other donations, this is a very good time to do it.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry.
You're good.
We got a $15 donation in from RR Mercury, who says, that Y'shtola plush is so counterattack. Let's go, women. Trans rights, less than 3. And of course, they're referring to one of the prizes that's available today. A $10 minimum donation will get them in to win that Y'shtola plush from the HoloLive run that we saw just before Crash Twinsanity here. But put those donations towards that glitch exhibition for Crash Twinsanity. If you're loving some of the absolutely wild glitches that we've already been seeing in this run, we want to get that met. It's going to be completely wild.
Yep. So right after that boss fight is a chase section with the ship's chef, Rusty Walrus. If you have played this game casually and you remember this chase section being extremely difficult, it is. It is genuinely really hard, and doing it fast is also really hard. I think to learn this one properly, I had to sit in like an emulator for 2 hours and just like memorize the movement. It is that difficult. He just moves so incredibly fast, and the hazards are so all over the place that, like, if you have no idea what you're doing, you will die in this chase section. It is the hardest chase section in the entire series.
While we're in a chase section, do we have time for a few more?
Yeah, so there's this, and then there's another really boring boss fight. So this is the one point in the run where you can just fire off as many as you can.
Okay, fantastic. First off, chat, please roast me for getting Y'shtola's sourcing wrong. So definitely that's for Final Fantasy, which is coming up. So please get your donations in for the glitch exhibition and tell me about how wrong I am. Please give me more HoloLive characters that definitely exist and are definitely not from other games. I would love to read those out from your donations. Super appreciate that. Just to help get us there, we did get a $100 donation in from Echo Parallax. No comment on that, but thank you so much for that donation. Definitely appreciate it. We also got in a $60 donation from Daver Boy that says, funny thing goes here. Thank you so much for that, Daver Boy. We super appreciate it.
Let you go. Silence. Looks like we'll have to ring.
This is the boss fight that's coming up. This is also just a very long auto scroller, so feel free to keep going if there's any more.
Fantastic. We also got a $50 donation from Kai the Kitsune that says, shout outs to women. Absolutely. Shout outs to women, chat. Thank you all so much. And thank you for being here in support of women and girls and Malala Fund and donating towards Malala Fund and their work getting girls to school.
I want to point out something really quickly. Sorry.
Sure.
Entropy T-poses when he drops down there. Please continue.
If you love a powerful T-pose, please put in a donation with your favorite powerful T-pose. I would love to hear about those. We are under $600 remaining towards that glitch exhibition. We are getting so close, gang. I believe in us. No incentive left behind. Get your donations in now for that glitch exhibition incentive.
So this is basically all this fight looks like. So if there's anything else, feel free to keep going.
Absolutely. I thought that maybe the fight was over because no.
There's 3 phases of that.
Okay, lovely. We got in a $25 donation from Anonymous. No message on that one, but thank you so much for your very thoughtful donation to Malala Fund. We also got in a $10 donation from Anonymous that says, I've been so busy playing Silksong while enjoying the absolutely incredible runs this week at Flame that I have to send in my $10 to cover both my Silksong tax and the mental anguish tax from Moist Eggs. Moist Eggs. This run is so cool. Let's get that glitch exhibition incentive met to see more wild shenanigans. Thank you so much, Anonymous. And yes, just as a reminder, implemented earlier this week, if you are playing Silksong in another window or on a Steam Deck in your hands, you do owe a $5 Silksong tax as a donation to Malala Fund. Do make sure to put those donations in towards the glitch exhibition incentive for Crash Twinsanity.
I forgot it was going to autosave at the end of the fight. But yeah, that's probably the only real downtime point in the run. The early Hub 3 route that I mentioned before, that is just not marathon safe. Part of the reason it saves so much time is that you use Zombie Glitch to skip all of that, which obviously just saves a lot of time, but it's not viable on this route, so we have to just sit through it and watch it. All right. Oh, well, I tried to skip a cutscene there and I missed and died, so I'm going to try it again.
While we're trying again, I hear there's some really cursed dialogue and names in this game. I would love to hear some of that since we're going so fast and skipping so many cutscenes in this game. If you're familiar with the Crash series, I would love to hear some of this cursed dialogue in your donations so that I can read those out like I do with Moist Eggs. I will happily read your cursed lines as long as they're actually from Crash.
Yeah. If you have not played this game casually, you absolutely should just for the dialogue and all the cutscenes. It is top tier comedy.
Follow me. I know another way.
So this cutscene was actually supposed to play at the beginning of Hub 2 when we came here earlier, but we skipped it by just using Zombie. You have to try and manually jump around it on the revisit, and it's not the easiest, which is why I missed it. But it is a funny cutscene, so it's fine. All right, that should be every gem in Iceberg. Oh, what am I missing in Iceberg Lab? Oh, yeah, okay, no, I know what it is. There is one more that I do after this. I had to double check because last night when I was doing practice runs, I loaded the safety save and realized it was missing a gem, so I reset it up last night. So, but we are good on gems outside of the one we missed in Slipslide. I'm going to hit this checkpoint here before the next cutscene. So this cutscene is very popular in my chat, so anybody from my stream community, be sure to type Perky here.
You monster! Let my brother go!
My crystals! Ruined! Thanks to Perky here. It must be repaired, and only one person can help. My niece, Nina Cortex. Isn't she delightful? Obviously, I've made a few modifications here and there. Quickly!
While we're in this cutscene, do we have time for a donation?
Oh, it's actually about to finish.
Oh, well then.
I was letting it play so people could listen to it. Yeah, so now we have to go to the Academy of Evil. Poor Coco got stunned there by a laser. I want to give her a hug to comfort her. Well, let me try that again. But she killed me! Yeah, so that's why I got the checkpoint before the cutscenes. Coco just has a hitbox and can kill you for some reason, so... Alright, so this is the last trick I was talking about. This one is a little finicky, so this might take me a few tries, but this is how we're going to get the last gem. Alright, so let's try... Alright, take 3. Alright, so this is the last trick I was talking about. This one is a little finicky, so this might take me a few tries, but this is how we're going to get the last gem. Alright, so let's try... Alright, take 3. Alright, so this is the last trick I was talking about. This one is a little finicky, so this might take me a few tries, but this is how we're going to get the last gem. There we go. So we want to fall on that platform in a way where we land on it, which disables the auto kill or like resets it. And that lets us fall down to get that gem. That trick only saves like 5 seconds. So it's not really that worth doing, but we have a very important reason for still doing it in the run. It looks really cool. So,
It's so cool.
yeah. In the early Hub 3 route, that trick actually saves more time because you do Hub 3, you come back, you're there, and then you just use it to drop back down to the bottom of the hub without taking the elevator. But in this route, it just looks cool. So this is going to be a quick snapshot of playing as Cortex. We are not going to play as Cortex all that much. So also, if you just die right there and the next hub is loaded in, then it just takes you there instead of taking you back to the hub, the previous hub. So that saves time over doing the ant fight that's in there. All right, so at the beginning of this hub, we're going to get 5 of the 6 color gems here. The last one you can only get when you're about to leave the hub, so we can't get it right now. All right, so we're going to go out of bounds here. This is very important for a couple of reasons. And then here, hitting an exclamation crate there, hitting a detonator there. So that freed up some of the puzzles to get some of the other gems. And it's also letting me get into this early. This is Classroom Chaos. It's the 2nd level in this hub. So we're getting the checkpoint at the start of that hub, or at the start of that level, and we're coming back to it later. This will be super relevant, which is why I did it the way I did. Alright, so now that I've gotten all those, I'm actually going to disable autosave again. There's no risk of crashing here, but if I accidentally save in the next section, it could lose a lot of time. So if that happens, it's faster to just reload the save from beforehand.
While we're loading, can I get a message from the community again?
Yeah, go for it.
Ad129 donates $10 to Malala Fund and said, here is 2 $5 donations. 1, moist eggs. 2, purchased Silk Song and played for a second, so here is $5 again. Less than 3. Thank you so much, Ad.
There's a really difficult jump coming up here, so I have to jump around the trigger for this world checkpoint, and the trigger is huge, and somehow I got it first try. I never get that first try. If anything had to go well in this run, it was that. All right, so as you might have seen, I threw Cortex into a cutscene, and I died again, so we are now in zombie again. Also, this cutscene's amazing, so I'm going to let it play out.
Scientist in the world, stuck in a pipe. How could things get any worse?
I apologize to my commentators who, as far as I know, were not able to hear that. But that is probably the only instance of a funny fart joke ever.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Couldn't disagree more.
You'll just have to watch the run back later.
I mean, there was also something humorous about just seeing Cortex just sitting there, silently just contemplating. Yeah, this is where my life is taking me.
So we are once again in zombie, which means, again, I cannot die. This is useful for the obvious reasons, but there's a very, very big reason you use zombie here. And I will explain it towards the end of the level because that's where it is relevant. And I'm going to be very careful here because any death in this level is extremely costly.
Was that a kind of T-pose?
Kind of. I think that's just his like teetering on the edge animation, but
Well, that's what T-pose stands for, is T-turring on the edge.
oh yeah,
Obviously.
all one word.
Crash is an edgy guy, you know?
Yeah. This era of Crash definitely could lean into edginess. So. Alright, so we're gonna roll Cortex into here. This takes him out of the pipe, which is important for the upcoming sections. Also more rats.
He looks like a cork. Cortex?
Cortex.
Speaking of Ratels, Fatals, and women, can I shout out a woman real quick?
Oh, yeah. I love women.
Got a $25 donation from Seth that says, can I just shout out my fiance, Tia? One of the most beautiful and strong women I've ever met. I love you. We love
Tia.
here at Fatels. Let's go, Tia. Let's hear about some of your favorite women. I would love to hear about them because we have passed up 83% raised for that glitch exhibition for Crash Twinsanity, which means it's just $510 left. Chat, we can totally do this. You can be the hero.
I believe in chat, for sure.
Let's do it, chat.
All right, so this next upcoming section is actually very difficult and very scary, so I do need to focus for this. There's 2 gems coming up here that I am going to try and get quickly. If anything goes wrong, I die and then lose several minutes, and if that happens, I'll probably just keep going just because of how earlier stuff in the run went, but I would like to get this ideally. That's the hardest part out of the way, but there's still some scary stuff. Okay, so this is one of the gems. The last gem we're going to try and grab from out of bounds. All right. Still a little bit of scary stuff coming up.
Cortex just patiently waiting for you to jump off his head.
All right, I think we're good. All right, just get here, slide, that hits the gem, and then we hit her here and we death abuse. So this is going to take us back to the start of Classroom Chaos. You actually do not complete Boiler Room Doom in the speedrun. The reason being...
Oh, wow.
At the end of that level is a boss fight with Dingodile. That fight is 4.5 minutes long, and we do not want to do it. So in 100%, you grab all 6 gems, and then you just death abuse. And because you were in zombie, which disables all checkpoints that aren't regular ones, oh, I hit the checkpoint. That was a stealth section. But yeah, since I grabbed all the gems and death abuse, I keep all of them without finishing the level, so we do not have to complete Boiler. I'm also gonna turn autosave back on just to be safe. Again, at this point in the run, I don't think anything catastrophic is really going to happen, but it's better to just be safe.
Since we're being safe, can I share some important messages from community?
Oh, absolutely.
Wonderful. Got a $25 donation in from Dehydrated Chicken Orb that says, paying my hydration tax for being a moist egg. Wait, did I do that right? And just with that update, we are now under $500 remaining for that glitch exhibition for Crash Twinsanity, with donations coming in that are really excited for the glitch exhibition. $5 from Anonymous that says, as someone who didn't grow up with Crash Bandicoot but wants to get into it, Twinsanity might be one of the most unhinged games I've ever seen. Absolutely fantastic. Let's see that glitch exhibition. Women's and trans rights forever. Less than 3.
I can absolutely recommend the Crash series to anybody. Like the PS1 trilogy and like CTR and their remakes from a few years ago are all very well loved. I do think a lot of the games from like the 6th gen era are a little underappreciated. I think there's something to be had out of most Crash games. This is definitely a very like underrated one, for lack of a better word. For as broken as it is and how unfinished it is, it has no business being as good as it is also. Like, even just aside from being a fantastic speedrun, it is a very, very fun casual game. So I would definitely recommend it to anybody.
I gotta say, Crash has the best idle pose for sliding around on the ground out of any video game character I've seen.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this second part of Classroom Chaos, you're supposed to play as Cortex. Cortex is profoundly slow, so I really do not want to play as him. So we jumped over the cutscene trigger that would have switched me over the Cortex. So now I'm doing Cortex's section as Crash and also out of bounds. We will see a little bit of Cortex though, because there are 2 parts of the run where you cannot avoid playing as them. They are 2 boss fights coming up. So, all right, so that just skips a forced fight room, and then we had to come back inbounds here to get this gem. I see someone in chat talking about the soundtrack, which I haven't really touched upon. The entire soundtrack of the game is, in fact, a cappella. So there's like no instrumentations or anything. It's just all vocals, which is absolutely amazing. This soundtrack is amazing, just lack of a better word. All right, so there's a lot of going in and out of bounds just to like grab gems. So like you grab a gem and then you just immediately go back out of bounds, which I'm doing by just body slamming on these doorways. And then if this run just didn't have enough, we just wrong warped. For some reason, if you just do that from the roof, it just warps you to a later part of the level. I don't know. A lot of stuff in this game is honestly pretty explainable. That one, I don't know. All right, so...
Pointers are confusing. Right. I just leave it up to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Guys, I can count.
Let's go.
It was also very important. You have to kill 24 frogs there because that's how the door opens. The door opens when 30 of them spawn and there can only be 6 around at the time. All right, so this cutscene is going to look very weird. It's supposed to be Cortex talking to his niece, Nina, who is now a character we're going to play as. It's not playing the way you think it would because Cortex is not here because we didn't play as him. So now it's just Nina just doing a little dance in her dorm room because don't we all?
Yeah.
I love these character designs.
Yeah, the designs in Twinsanity are some of my favorite designs of all of the characters in the game. Yeah, so Nina is a very straightforward character. This is probably going to be the most one of the most straightforward levels in the run. I say as I run off in Death Abuse because the checkpoint was just that far away and it's still activated. I actually want to point out a little fun fact, and this has to do with like a regional difference. I'm playing on the PAL version of the game, which is the game can run at either 60 frames per second or 50 frames per second, and you want it to run at 50 because there's a bug that happens on 60 FPS called the slide glitch, where when you do a slide with Crash, sometimes if you just move your camera or control stick in the wrong way, he just goes in the wrong direction, and that doesn't happen on 50 FPS. So on PS2, people just always play the PAL version because that's the only way you can play it at 50. On Xbox, you can play either NTSC or Xbox or NTSC or PAL at 50 because the PAL or the Xbox version of the game is region free. So you can play an NTSC version on a PAL Xbox and get 50 FPS. And that's what some people were doing for a while just because it's more accessible. I found out there's a couple of cutscenes that desync if you play them on NTSC at 50 frames per second. And one of them is super obvious. It's the cutscene before the Entropy and Brio fight, and it only loses like 2 seconds. I found out while doing a subathon a few weeks ago, because I was playing the game casually, that cutscene with Nina also desyncs on NTSC, and I never noticed it because Cortex isn't there when you're speedrunning it, so I couldn't tell because you don't hear anything. And the desync loses like 4 seconds, so the NTSC version loses 6 seconds over PAL because of that.
Speaking of cutscenes, do we have time for a quick update?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Wonderful. So just as a heads up, you may have noticed that there's been an open incentive for Ori and the Blind Forest coming up to play the Resurrection cutscene. But gang, we really have to meet that glitch exhibition for Crash Twinsanity first. We are now under $500 remaining on that, just $460 to go, chat. We can absolutely do that. And one of the folks taking us there is a $10 donation from Kaiju Ashley, who says, here's two tickets to the $5 train, one for Crash and one for Cortex. Oh no, somebody needs to buy a ticket for Nina now.
Someone does need to buy a ticket for Nina. I bet if we got a $5 donation train going, we would meet that incentive in no time. And trust me, guys, you do want to see that. So there's a lot of just like death abusing here just to abuse like how wide a lot of the checkpoint triggers are. And this is like the only part in the game where Xbox lags and PS2 doesn't, which is why I have the camera like facing up the way it was. That's just to minimize some lag. I'm gonna get another safety mask here.
Speaking of masks, can I read off a donation?
Yeah, go for it.
$25 came in from the masked donator who says, "Ha ha!" Thank you, the masked donator. We appreciate that. We also just got in a $100 donation from Anonymous. No message on that, but Anonymous, thank you so much for your generosity, getting us to just $360 left to go for that glitch exhibition. We are so close, gang. We can make this happen.
Yep, we still have a whole other hub after this, so you guys do have time. But
it may seem like a lot of time, but we're getting close. We only have 30 minutes left on your estimate or so?
About, yeah. All right, so I'm going to try and do something. This is a really cool trick, but it loses a lot of time. I'm going to try it once, and if I don't get it, we're just going to do stuff normally. Oh my god, I got it. Yeah, so Nina is not supposed to be able to double jump, but right after she jumps from like a grapple hook spot, there's like a very small frame window where you can input a jump, and you get enough momentum there that you can just jump to the other side of that area, which skips an entire like walking around section. It only saves like 10, 15 seconds, if that, but it loses like 30 seconds if you miss it. So people usually only do it as a last resort. Or in marathon runs where it's cool. I'm actually very surprised I got that.
You failed the easy skip so that you could make the hard ones later.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, so this is another chase section. We are getting chased by the bus. The reason the bus is chasing us, if anybody didn't notice at the beginning of the level, Cortex in the cutscene we skipped in Classroom Chaos tells Crash to go back to the airship and make sure it's properly secured. Crash, being Crash, ties it to a bus. And that was not enough to keep it secure, so now the bus is just flying into the sky.
Imagine a bus.
Yeah.
Speedrunners, if you can imagine a bus, get in your $5 ticket to the donation train happening. That train is leaving the station in less than 30 minutes, though. We need to hit that glitch exhibition before the end of this Crash Twinsanity run.
So that was all of Rooftop Rampage. So before we can leave the Academy of Evil, we do have one boss fight coming up. This is not a skippable fight because the trigger that lets you leave the hub only appears once you finish the boss fight, so we do have to do this. But this is Madame Amberly. She is the headmistress of the Academy, and she does not like Cortex. This fight is very difficult casually, but there is a strat that makes it a lot easier in the speedrun. It's kind of complex, so I'll try to explain it as we go. So I'm going to stand right here. That's step one. And then Amberly's going to attack the same organ. And that's it. You literally, you just stand between two of the organs. You don't press anything on the controller, and she just attacks the same organ over and over while T-posing. So, and that very much trivializes this fight, which is otherwise pretty difficult, honestly.
I hear trivialized fight, and I think maybe we can read some donations. Is that true, Ryan?
Oh yeah, go for it. This is another great spot.
Absolutely. We got a $10 donation in from Des Cuddlebat that says, just paying my moist eggs and Silk Song taxes. Used to play a lot of Crash as a child, and it's been fun revisiting the games with more appreciation for the details that child me missed.
Thank you for that, Cuddlebat.
I also got a $20 donation in from Psycho UK 666 that says, I guess we could crash the party with some glitches, right, chat?
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. And just as an update, we are only $330 away from that glitch exhibition, chat. I believe in us. We can do that.
You got time for a few more.
Oh, fantastic. We also got a $50 donation in from Maddie Stars. No message on that, but Maddie Stars did put it towards that glitch exhibition showcase, which we are so excited about. 89% of the way there. Again, chat, that is coming up really quick. We've got under 30 minutes to go. It's 24 minutes left in the estimate, so don't sleep on that. You're going to be watching the wildness that is this game, because if you've been watching this run, it has been completely unhinged. So you're going to want to see Kylie completely break this game even more, and don't sleep on this incentive.
Come along.
All right, so now that we have cold-heartedly murdered Madame Amberly, a first for Crash Bandicoot as far as I know. Well, I guess it was Cortex, but a first for the Crash Bandicoot series. We have one more gem to get. This was the one that I couldn't get at the start. It's because this elevator doesn't start moving up and down until after we beat Madame Amberly. So we're going to land on here, use a long jump to grab the gem, and then just trigger the auto kill. And then we can very quickly hit the trigger to leave the level, or leave the hub like that. So this is going to take us back to Hub 2, but we're not going to be there for long. We're going to go immediately to Hub 4 after that. So yeah, we are getting close to the end. So if you guys want to see the glitch exhibition, this is the time to do it. Also, if you just let go of crouch and recrouch for a very short frame, Crash just kind of crawls like this. This is actually a very important piece of any percent, but I figured it'd just be better to show it off there. But if you want to see stuff like that in the glitch exhibition, you know what to do.
Wow, Crash really channeled 6-year-old me trying to do the limbo at the roller rink and not being good at it.
I think you tried your best.
Come now, as we explore
My best wasn't...
a new
I was not a
dimension.
coordinated child.
So we're going to try and do a cutscene skip here.
Ran out of time.
All right, we got it. So you can actually gain control before the cutscene starts and land outside of the cutscene trigger. So I can just come out here. The autosave is just the moment you go outside. So I just F-use there and it takes me to the side that I want to be on. So this is Hub 4. This is Twinsanity Island. A lot of this is going to look very similar to earlier parts of the game. This is the part where the developers were kind of running out of time with, again, this game had a very troubled development. So they did reuse a lot of assets, but it is still a very cool hub. And I hope you guys really liked, I hope you really liked Slip Slide Ice Capades, because we're going to do it again.
Yes! Niece! We must do something. Think, Cortex, think!
Cutscene's so good, we did it twice.
Yep. And you guys got to see it twice because I failed the cutscene skip the first time. Also, this is a lot of people's favorite song in the game. It's not my favorite, but it is up there. This is just a very good song. This level is overall probably the easiest one in the run, which is crazy to say because we're at the end. I tend to get very unlucky here, though, so we'll see what happens.
I love this song. What do you think, Fumoffu?
I'm sure if I Googled it, I'd like it.
Chat, chime
Just
in
Google
with
Rock Slide Rumble.
chime in with your favorite Crash Bandicoot songs for sure in your donations. We need to hit that glitch exhibition showcase. We're only $330 away, and we can absolutely do that, chat.
If we get to 200 away from the glitch exhibition, I will share my favorite song from the Crash series.
Oh, a lore update. Chat, you know you've got to donate for the lore update.
Yeah, so this level is weird in that a lot of the gems are just like front loaded. So we're about halfway through the level and we already have all 6 gems. So the rest of this is just avoiding the nitros, and also quote unquote, well, I said I was going to avoid the nitros and then I did the exact opposite of that. So we get to see this part again. Yeah, so this level is also supposed to be a quote unquote race with Evil Crash. He kidnapped Nina in the cutscene we skipped, and we are now trying to chase after him to get Nina back. You cannot win this race. You cannot lose this race. This is not a race. Evil Crash just always like warps in front of you if you get ahead of him, so it's all for show. If he hits you though, he does cause damage though, which is very fun.
So it sounds like this might be an auto scroller where I could maybe give some updates.
Yeah, you got a little bit more. Or a little bit of time.
Rarest donates $50. No comment on that, but I'm wondering if that's a reference to Rareware. Why are we talking about the rarest if not Rareware? This is not a Rareware game, but it is reminiscent of a similar era of gameplay. So definitely appreciate that. And I do want to update everyone. We are now 92% of the way to that glitch exhibition. We have just $230 to go. We are $30 away from the lore update from our runner, Kylie, who will tell us what her favorite song from Crash is if we have $200 remaining. So let's go.
We just got the music glitch where the music from Rock Slide carries over until I die. I apologize to my commentators for not being able to hear it.
I was gonna say that's a really funny glitch, and I appreciated experiencing it.
Yeah. So we're doing a couple more puzzle skips like we did in Hub 1. So none of these are the intended way to get these gems. So
as we're gem collecting, do we have a moment for an update?
Yeah, go for it.
Absolutely. Got a $100 donation from a very familiar name here, Fumoffu. I wonder who that could be.
Oh.
Yeah. Who says, here's $5 for each time I've taken psychological damage from moist egg donations this run. Moist eggs, crying face.
All right, before we continue... Yeah, thank you for that. Before we continue the round, I want everybody to look at this gem puzzle. You have to take that sphere, carry it across all of these platforms, carry it up to that rotating platform, and put it into that socket above the gem. This puzzle is terrible. I'm not going to do it. Much better.
What?
I like that.
So like I said, the gem hitboxes in this game are huge. If you do a minimum height body slam, so you jump and then body slam almost immediately after, you can just grab that gem. Even if you play this game casually, I recommend that is how you get that gem. That puzzle is terrible. The first time I ever did it, it took me 30 minutes.
Take me instead.
And that was like a few years ago when I had already been speedrunning the game for a few years.
Small update, chat. We are just $5 away from the lore update from Kylie. So $5 donation will learn us what Kylie's favorite song is. So let's get that donation in. And we're also $205 away from the glitch exhibition, which we need to hit before the end of this run.
Yeah. And then I also just used the body slam hitbox to grab another gem. And then just grab this one. And that is all the gems in the Twinsanity Island Hub. So we are coming up to Bandicoot Pursuit. This is a lot like Totem Hokum, the level from the beginning of the game where Cortex was quote-unquote being chased by bees and we were helping him. None of that happened. So now Cortex is being chased by Evil Crash and we need to help him. None of that is going to happen. So a lot of this is just platforming. So if you want to get in some more donations, go for it.
Absolutely. We got in $25 from Daverboy and $25 from Daverboy, who does not have a comment on either of those. But Daverboy, thank you so much for your generosity. That's $50 total. It's a Malala Fund from Daverboy. We super appreciate it. Chat, we're waiting on that lore update from Kylie. We just need $5 more to get the lore update and $205 for that glitch exhibition for Crash Twinsanity. If you have been enjoying the silliness of this run, get your donations in now. gdq.gg/donate, !donate in the chat.
This is a warning, guys. There is one level after this.
Oh my goodness. So we do not have much time left. Don't sleep on it. And with that, hey, Kylie, we just hit $200 remaining for that glitch exhibition. So tell us what your favorite Crash song is.
My favorite Crash song is the Jetpack theme from Crash Bandicoot 2. It is an absolutely amazing song that I adore every time I hear it.
That's a great choice. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the lore update. And chat, we still have $200 left to go. That's 93% of the way there. We're so close we can taste it, but we're also so close to the end of this run. So we only have about 14 minutes left in the estimate. And as Kylie mentioned, we are coming up really, really close to the end of this run. So get those donations in now for that glitch exhibition.
When I get to the last level, that level is about 8 to 10 minutes long, depending on how well it goes. So that is how much time you all will have when I reach the next cutscene. Okay, so again, we were just bypassing a puzzle there. The switch crate that triggers the arrow crate that lets you get that yellow gem is on the completely opposite side of this beach, so we just don't want to get it. So look at this puzzle. This puzzle is significantly easier than the other one. I'm still not going to do it. There we go. So we have one more gem coming up here, and then this will be the final level.
I feel bad for whoever worked so hard to make all of these little gravity fields around these gems that just...
So the funny thing is that two of the game's developers, JMac and Websa, they've been making a lot of content on YouTube about like the development of this game. They recently reviewed, like they watched and reacted to the Any % world record, and they've been in contact with some of the other members of the Twins community. They have been very good sports about the speedrunning scene in general. They just love that people are still playing this game. So,
I absolutely love it when developers just encourage speedrunners. It's the best.
Shout outs to them. They are awesome. All right, so this is Antagony. This is the final level in the run. This is, in my opinion, the best level in any Crash Bandicoot game. So this is going to be a treat. But yeah, this is the final level though. So that you guys have approximately 8 to 10 minutes left.
Speaking of, we are just $125 away from that glitch exhibition. We are 95% of the way there. Let's go, chat. You can do it.
Yes.
We can do this.
So very quickly, you may have noticed there, I slid into one of the Energon spheres, and it just froze in place. That's another bug. That it's actually exclusive. It's doable in every version of the game except for PAL PS2. But the bomb throwing ants, if there's already a bomb in place and they go to pick up another one, the bomb just freezes and we can use it as a platform to get to that gem quicker. In the PAL PS2 version, it doesn't work because the ants' AI is broken, so they just never go to pick up another bomb.
Another small update. We are over $91,000 raised for Malala Fund so far this event. Thank you so much to everyone who's donated.
Let's go. That's amazing.
Everyone.
Yeah, and we definitely appreciate it. Part of that was $15 from Starwind X9, who says, doing my part for more glitches. Shout out to the mod squad. Thank you so much, Starwind. And we are just $65 away now from that glitch exhibition. Let's go. You can do it, chat. We got this.
We can do it.
We are going to see these colored platforms a lot. They always activate in the pattern of red, green, blue, yellow. So they are very consistent, thankfully. All right, so coming up here, this is one of the first ant fights we have to do. You have to kill 4 of the 5 ants here, so we're just going to body slam because that kills them faster than actually spinning into them. We're going to skip every other ant fight for what it's worth. I did that wrong. That's fine. This just loses a few seconds. I was trying to set up a long jump to just get to this part sooner, but it's like maybe 3 seconds.
You got time for a little love from the community?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Symphony donates $10 and says, Kylie, good luck, twins that crash. The deep breath was a part of the donation, so I had to get that in there.
Thank you so much, Symphony.
Naturally.
Shout out to Symphony. He is a viewer and community member of a lot of PlayStation runners. Very, very supportive.
With that, we're just $35 away from the glitch exhibition. That is so close, chat. We're so close.
I was hoping I could jump off of the head of one of those ants, but they both jumped into the air, so I couldn't do that, so I just walked around. All right, so as cool as this level is, we are still going to bypass a lot of it by just jumping in the area around it. I guess this isn't technically out of bounds. It's just a section of the level you're not supposed to be able to reach. Right, so we're going to grab this yellow gem and just death abuse back to the checkpoint I just hit. And then you're supposed to lower these force fields by breaking the the blue like nodes that we've gone past, it's faster to just body slam over them.
$10 to go. We're almost there.
I believe in chat. If everybody in chat donated 1 cent, I think we'd still make it.
Well, the minimum is $1 through the Twitch charity tool, but that's just 10 people donating $1 through the Twitch charity tool and assigning it to the incentive through the GDQ add-on.
For the cost
I got a really cool
bodies.
cycle skip there as well. That one's kind of tight, and then it kind of hinges on that one fire ant we just went past not being in the way. I think that we call him Anthony. Anthony was not a jerk, so thank you, Anthony. Something I kind of didn't mention at all in the run because it was used once much earlier and then never again. For slide jumps in this game, as long as your next slide jump isn't also going to be a long jump, if you do a slide jump at the edge, you can actually control him. That's called a controllable slide jump, of course. And that's how I was sliding around those pillars.
Hey, Kylie.
Yeah.
Chat did it. They did
Yo.
it. We met that incentive. Thank you
Let's
so
go.
much to everyone who has
Let's
donated
go.
towards that glitch exhibition showcase. We are so stoked to get to see that because this run has been wild.
Thank you for that, chat. I tried to jump there and I didn't get an input. That is a Crash Bandicoot classic. The certified dude, where's my jump? Crash Twinsanity, for as broken as this game is, it is surprisingly pretty good about inputs. So it's like very rare for it to drop one like that. Some of the older Crash games can be pretty notorious about dropping inputs, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I almost thought I got a glitch there called ball glitch. That one's just dependent on the console lagging. But if you get ball glitch there, then the ball goes into the socket, but then doesn't disappear. So you can use it for one of these two sockets coming up here. It can happen on any socket, but it's only useful in this room. But it only says like 6 seconds, so it's not a make or break whether it happens.
I like that the ball can attach underneath the platform
Yeah,
like that.
it makes this room so much easier.
I wasn't expecting that. I'm like, oh, cool. She's gonna kick it over under the platform.
All right, chat. You got to tell me who loves Spyro the Dragon, because he is coming up in this cutscene that's right here, and we're not gonna watch it. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. So Spyro does have a quick cameo if you watch that cutscene, but we can just jump around it by going out of bounds. I am sorry for baiting everybody like that, but that just means you guys should play this game because this game is great.
I'll dust off my old OG Xbox.
As we're running down this pathway, do we have time for some updates from the folks who helped get us that glitch exhibition?
Yeah, for sure. Go for it.
Wonderful. We got a $50 donation in from Beanie Feeny, who says, I hope the glitch exhibition doesn't crash the game. Ha, ha, ha. Very
too.
good, Beanie Feeny. We also got a $10 donation from Evie Nix, who says, let's get them glitches. And we did. Thank you so much for that, chat. We super appreciate all the donations. Thank you so much for helping us hit that glitch exhibition showcase. And don't forget, we do have now open an incentive to play the resurrection cutscene in Ori and the Blind Forest that is coming up later tonight. So you can still, if you're still interested in donating, if you love what you see here, you can put your donations towards that incentive that is coming up. And that will put us towards that $100,000 milestone to see Hades 2 later tonight.
The sheer irony, I just saw this in chat. I hyped up a Spyro cutscene before skipping it, and right after that happened, Deo, man, the Spyro 120% record holder, rated the stream. Thank you, Deo. Deo is also a very good friend of mine. But yeah, so this is the final boss. These are the evil twins. We haven't seen them at all in the run because they only show up in the FMVs that we've been skipping. Another reason to play the game. But this is a 3-phase boss fight. The first phase was playing as Nina, where we just broke down some like energy pillars. The second is Cortex, where we take out their weaponry. And then I'm going to do a damage of these here, and hopefully this will let me do this section a little faster. Nope, I didn't get it quite as much. That's fine.
As a Mecha fan, this is a really good robot.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I like this a lot.
All right, so time is coming up really quickly on this last phase. So last phase is Crash piloting the Mecha Bandicoot from the first boss fight that we didn't see. All right, so just get up. Oh, there you go. All right, so time is now time. Sorry, that went by really quickly. That's just how fast the final phase is.
GG.
All right.
Let's get out of here!
All right. And then I'm going to let this FMV play before I reset the console, just because this is a very funny cutscene.
I've been wrong about you. Your creation was a mistake.
And then after this cutscene, I'll reset the game because the credits are 4 minutes long and I don't want to sit through that. So I'll reset the game and then we'll watch we'll do the glitch excavation.
That you can't run away from your mistakes, but you can bury them. I never want to see your ridiculous face again. Where am I? What is this?
I think the best part of that cutscene is that the backing vocals just sounds like the Backstreet Boys. All right, and I'm gonna soft reset just to get back to the game quicker.
See, since I didn't have any audio there, I just assumed they were doing the cha-cha slide.
That would have worked too.
Are they the Backstreet Boys or are they the Crash Street Boys?
Oh, true.
While we're waiting to load back in, can I share some donations from chat?
Yeah, go for it.
Wonderful. I Am Gibbon donated $25 and says, I know there are objectively better Crash games, but this one is definitely a guilty pleasure.
That's how I feel. Like, the way I describe it is like I would never say from a quote-unquote objective point of view that this is the best Crash game, but it definitely is one of my top 3 favorites, along with Crash 2 and Crash 3. So it's just so good.
It really seems to pass the... it seems like it really passes the vibe check to me. Like that's the big thing. It's like this... It's very different from any Crash Bandicoot game I've ever seen, but it's... If the vibes all feel on point, like, okay, this is a Crash game.
Yeah, for sure. It deviated a lot from the formula, which is something I think the series needed at the time. And while it didn't execute it a lot well, you can still feel that it is a Crash Bandicoot game. Like, it still has that, like, aura to it. Right, so...
Right.
Yep, so we're going to do the glitch exhibition. So I have planned, there's going to be 2 things that I think are relevant to any percent, which is, again, any percent in this game is less than 10 minutes long. And then there's 2 things that are not relevant to any speedrun that I think are just very silly. So I'll count down again from 3. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so first things first, I'm going to show something called the splash teleport. This is one of 3 parts of a very, very big skip that got found 2 years ago. And this is what made any percent like possible to be less than like 11, 12 minutes. So if you notice, if you walk into water like this, there's like a little splash that happens that crashes feet. So I'm gonna crawl very far away from where that splash occurred. This is gonna take a little bit. And then I hit a drowning plane and Crash just warped back to where the splash was. The way drowning animations work in this game is to make sure Crash is always visible at the surface, he will always teleport back to wherever the last splash animation happens if you trigger a drown. This is huge for the any percent speedrun because you would trigger a splash in one spot and then you would move to a different level and the coordinates are saved for that level and then you would do the splash teleport and it would just warp you to a completely different part of the level. That's about the easiest way I can explain it. It's actually really complex. I do a much better job of explaining it in the history video I made a few years ago, which I will plug at the end of this. So this is the skip that unquestionably, this glitch saved any percent. Any percent from 2016 to 2018 had a 2-year drought of nobody even really trying to contest the world record because that fountain up there that I opened the run with where I was just standing on nothing, there used to be this really terrible skip where you would just fall down like a bunch of invisible edges and just land on the other side where that cave is. It was miserable, and the number of people who can do it can be counted on one hand. But Bandycraft, a glitch hunter, found out that if you take this acorn, you put it on right here, which is between the two chunks of the level. So like I'm in one loading zone, and then the other side is the other loading zone. And then you land on it, you just teleport to the other side. And that is the nut skip. And that, yeah,
wow.
Literally it is so much easier than the old fountain skip. It caused any percent to explode in activity because the category became playable again. So those are the two any percent related ones I wanted to show off. There's two more goofy ones in this hub world that I want to show. And then if we have time, I may also show another any percent related one, but I don't think we're going to have time. So, unrelated, this is that was a skip that lets you just skip Totem Hokum. So I'm gonna come up here and trigger this worm mini game, and then also walk into this cutscene.
Oh, Crash.
And then when this cutscene ends, I'm gonna go back to the worm mini game as soon as I can.
For my orchard is riddled with greedy worms. If you rid my land of these pests, I'll give you this power crystal. I'm an evil scientist. What do you expect? This isn't a game.
So now that I've done that, if I just slide back here, Cortex is now popping out of the holes instead of worms. I don't know why this happens, but it's very funny when it does. And then you can also grab Cortex. So you're supposed to do a mini game here to like spout some trees, and then you can hit the Cortex worms. This is how you're supposed to get up to the second boss fight. Is that that cutscene is making fun of like the like mission quests that you get in like a bunch of platformers. I'm gonna death abuse to make sure I don't have Cortex attached to me. All right, so the last thing I wanted to show off is at the beginning of Totem Hokum, and I think to best exemplify what happens, it'll be best to show the cutscene, death abuse, and then do the glitch. So. So this was the cutscene that we skipped during the run.
You have to help me, Crash. You heard them. They want to
pay attention to the tribesmen. They're going to be the focal
enslave
point of this.
And steal my brain. How I envy the simple life of the tribesfolk. What have I got? What have I got? What have I got? Living in harmony with Mother Nature. The noble boar. The humble bumblebee. Ah!
All right, so now that I'm just gonna let Cortex run into the nitros here. Yeah, so this is what you're supposed to guide Cortex through the level. I don't know why he kind of just like jumps forward and then back into the nitros, but he does. Okay, so now that you know what the cutscene is supposed to look like, I'm gonna go out of bounds again. But unlike before where I jumped around the cutscene trigger, I'm actually gonna go further out of bounds, and we're gonna go down here. Turns out the tribesmen are just right here, out of bounds, and you can actually interact with them. So if I knock this one over this way, and then knock this one over this way, and then walk over here, and just walk into the cutscene again.
You have to help me, Crash. You heard them. They want to destroy our island home, humiliate and enslave you, and steal my brain. How I envy the simple life of the tribesfolk.
They are now in a different spot. They are now where I hit them into. Papu
Living in
Papu.
harmony with Mother Nature. The noble boar. The humble bumblebee.
And yeah, that was everything I wanted to show off in the glitch exhibition. There's a lot of other funny things, but it would just take too long for me to go back to the areas where you do them. So that was the stuff that I felt I could show in a very quick fashion. But yeah, that was Crash Twinsanity 100% plus some extra funny glitches. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do have a lot of shout outs that I actually wrote down just to make sure I didn't forget any if I have time to do those real quick.
Absolutely. Just a really quick thank you to chat for raising $3,000 for Malala Fund to reach that glitch exhibition. Kylie, give us your shout outs.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, so first off, I want to shout out a bunch of Twinsanity speedrunners who are good friends of mine and are also just like huge contributors to just this speedrun in general. There's G-Pro. He currently is the world record holder of every single category in this game by a lot. He is absolutely the greatest person to ever touch this game. There's Dio Chomp, who is very fantastic all levels in any percent runner. Smartkin is one of the OG runners. Joester98, former world record holder and also top runner. He ran this game at SGDQ. Atomical Sloss is a good friend of mine who does a lot of all levels. Sustain does a lot of all levels. Rijiku actually has second place in this category in 100%, and she has it on this route as opposed to the faster early hub 3 route. Bandycraft is responsible for a lot of the skips that are used in any percent, and Pete the player is just one of the most OG crash runners of the entire series, and he is also very well versed in this game. I wanted to shout out a bunch of people who are community members, either of my own stream community or just the general PlayStation community, and are just really good friends of mine. Violin, who's one of the best Kingdom Hearts runners. He's also my roommate and one of my best friends. He and I actually played Crash Bash 201% together a few weeks ago and completed it. So huge shout outs to him for helping me with that. And then a bunch of other of my friends just across all the PlayStation games. Crispy Tacos, Merkaz, Lexi, Mick Crody, Tet, White Paws, Jamie, who donated during the run, Super Sphere, Marathon Man, Big Chickenator, Daoman, Lumi Laura, 8VA, Rubeetle, Ariana. And then one final really important shout out. I want to shout out a runner named Dustiel. He was very influential to a lot of different Crash speedruns, including this one and Crash 2 and Crash 3. He passed away due to a seizure a month or two ago. He was the first person I ever saw run this game and Crash 3. And if it was not for his influence, I probably would not be running this game or this series. So huge shout out to him. Rest in peace. He did a lot for this series and this community. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the event.